Hey folks, how's it going? Dr. Spin. We're already en route looking at the best albums for 2022. I'm actually going to have a mid-year 2022 top 10, which I've never done before. So in the process of getting that done, I have this big tier system I've been working on. A lot of that's been done in text over on the blog component. But for this last tier 3, going into the last bit, I thought that we might want to put some videos up of these. Not a whole bunch, but especially when we get to this one, many of these albums have been through several eliminations already. They're already really great albums, and I want to make sure you guys understand why I make the decisions that I make. It's not like I'm saying one album is great and one album is terrible. It's a matter of like small differences. For example, this week I got looking at the Anchoress, The Art of Losing, versus Beauty Pill's Sorry You're Here. Beauty Pill's Sorry You're Here is a soundtrack that was created for a dance production that Beauty Pill was commissioned to make. And the topic of that dance production is suicide, and it deals with that apparently in the dance production pretty directly. It's dealt mostly by insinuation on this album, but even so, there's a very dark component to this album and a very surreal component to this album that makes it really compelling. And it's a great mix of all these different facets of Beauty Pill's style. There's a couple of really great cover songs on here that sounds like what they would be doing on the album that followed this. Beauty Pill describes things as they are. But also some great instrumental passages, some stuff in there where they play with spoken word things. Very effective use of all those. And some of them are deal with this topic of suicide in a way that's very evocative. Not necessarily in a positive way, but very direct. So it's very effective at what it sets out to do. Okay, that's in comparison to the Anchoress' Art of Losing. Great prog adjacent album from this artist. 3 or 4 fantastic songs in this album. As I said before, kind of like 90s Rush or early 90s Marillion, what would happen if Tori Amos was singing lead for that. But that being said, the thing about The Art of Losing is that the pacing on the album makes it feel a little bit on the longest side, and despite the fact that many of these songs are so amazing, I mean, you really have to hear them to believe them. Trust me on this. There's also this affectation that she does with her voice sometimes where she croaks out the ends of phrases. And I think that's a really cool thing to do, like David Bowie used to do it quite a bit. But it shows up an awful lot in the album. And once I hear her start doing it, it's difficult for me to kind of not notice it. It's hard for me to unhear it. So despite the fact that The Art of Losing really has some of my favorite music I've listened to this year, I'm going to have to give it overall to Beauty Pill's Sorry You're Here. Check this album out. Not necessarily a very commercial release, but one that's very artistically successful and worth checking out. Okay, so that one's going to go on into tier 4 coming up in a few weeks. If you want to know what's going to happen, please like, subscribe, and share the video out with your friends. And until you see you next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.